another 7 months left of the World Cup. You must be having a fair idea of the composition of the team. But is it going to be the case of the tried and trusted, or you still feel there can be a remarkable fresh talent can still find its way into the team, just as the Natarajan did after the last IPL into this decade?
Yeah, that's a big possibility. I think we have played with a certain kind of pattern in the past. We didn't probably have a big tournament to work towards, but if you look at the squad and the additions we've made in the squad, we've tried to address a few things that we needed in specific guys who can be X factors with the bat. Uh, do things which are the need of the hour in T20 cricket, and these guys have done so in the IPL on a regular basis. So yeah, we've tried to cover all those bases. Now it'll be interesting to see how they go about things in these 5 games, because these are the only games we have as a team before the World Cup, and we want to see how these guys fare out there in the middle. But yeah, I feel like the squad right now, what we have, barring Jaddu, who will come back whenever fit, is the squad that I feel is the most balanced in terms of all the options readily available for us to take on the field as and when we want.
How difficult is it to choose between Kane and Dhawan, and can both be fitted into the same playing 11? Considering this.
Well, I don't think so. If Rohit plays, then it's quite simple. KL and Rohit have been consistently performing at the top of the order for us, and those two would start in a situation where a Rohit takes rest or a KL has a niggle or something like that. Then yeah, Shikhi obviously comes in as the third opener, but the starting composition, Rohit and Rahul will be the ones who will start.
Yeah, what's the decision on Ashwin? He's bowled really well in IPL, taken out top guys like Rohit, Gale, and even you. Is the door closed for him in T20? And secondly, are you a bit disappointed, if not angry, with someone, disappointed rather, with someone like Varun Chakravarti for not getting the fitness right because he had time right from the end of the last IPL?
Yeah, look, individuals have to understand and appreciate the kind of system that's been created for the Indian cricket team. We should operate at very high levels of fitness and skills. There's a reason why this is, the top of the ladder when it comes to playing cricket in our country. And yeah, you would obviously expect players to abide by what's required to be a part of Team India. And that there should not be any space for any compromise in that regard. Having said that, to answer your first question, Washington has been doing really well for us. So you cannot have two players of the same discipline, playing in one spot. So yeah, unless Washi has a drastically horrible season and things go south for him, I mean, the question has to be asked with some kind of logic as well. You suggest where you would add Ash and play him in the team when someone like Washington already does that job for the team. So it's easy to ask a question, but you should have a logical explanation to it yourself.
Hi Virat.
Hi.
Good luck to the series. My question is about the batting approach that team is looking forward in terms of the strike rate at the top of the order and going hard in the power play. Is that something that is being discussed in terms of what approach as a unit that India needs to take ahead of the World Cup?
There are many things that we have spoken about. The kind of players we've added into the squad is precisely to give our batting lineup more depth and not play in a similar kind of pattern that we have played with in the past. So we want to be a side that plays free cricket, not have any baggage of lack of depth, and one guy having to bat long enough to make sure that we get to a big total. We have explosive batsmen in the team now who can change the game at any stage, even if you're 2 or 3 wickets down, and that's exactly what we've tried to address picking this squad. So this time around, you'll see guys being a bit more free, a bit more expressive in terms of approaching the innings and playing more freely, not worried about whether we have enough batsmen to take care of things if we lose couple of wickets early or not, which was the case before. To be honest, we didn't have enough depth in the batting to be able to play freely throughout the first 10 or 12 overs. But I see us being much more positive and free from this series onwards.
Hi Virat. Bhuvneshwar is returning from an injury after 1 year. How would you rate his progress in the nets, and do you see him as an important cog in the bowling scheme for the T20 World Cup this year?
Yeah, he's shaping up really well. He's come back. He's fit. He's worked really well to get back to 100% fitness. And look, he's a smart operator with the ball. We've all seen that in the past few years, and he continues to bring that experience onto the field, which is going to be vital for us going forward. And he has a clear understanding of what he wants to do in the next few months, and he wants to contribute towards many more Indian victories in the coming months, especially. And in the World Cup, we would obviously need our most experienced T20 bowlers, and he's right up there with anyone else with the new ball through the middle overs and in the death as well. He's a guy that you can bank on. So yeah, we're very very glad to have him back, and hopefully he can build strongly from here and be as ready as he is now for the World Cup as well.
Hello, Virat.
Right.
Both Josh Butler and Owen Morgan have said that India will be the favourites or the team to beat at the World Cup. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. I actually think it's England who will be the team to beat. They are the number one side in the world, and the prime focus will be on them in this World Cup. All the other teams will be wary of the strengths that they bring onto the park, and yeah, every other team would agree with what I say. It's England who are the favourites, and that will not change regardless of how they think.
विराट, कई लोग सोचते हैं कि ये 3.5 घंटे का ही खेल है, 20 ओवर ही खेलने हैं, 20 ओवर ही बॉलिंग डालने हैं, लेकिन एज अ प्लेयर, एज अ कैप्टन, आपको ये जो फॉर्मेट है ये कितना चैलेंजिंग लगता है, कप्तान की हैसियत से भी और बल्लेबाज की हैसियत से भी?
आई थिंक यहाँ पे सर जो प्लानिंग और थिंकिंग ऑन योर फीट जो बोलते हैं वो बहुत रैपिड तरीके से आगे बढ़ती है. तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि एक कप्तान को इस फॉर्मेट में सबसे ज़्यादा प्रिसाइसली चीज़ों को परखना, कौन से बॉलर्स कब लाना, इन सब चीज़ों को समझ के वो चेंजेस करना ज़रूरी होता है. और गेम इतनी जल्दी चेंज होती है कि आपको इतना समय नहीं मिलता है ज़्यादा चीज़ों के बारे में सोचने का. तो बहुत इंस्टिंक्टिव और बहुत ही फास्ट डिसीजन मेकिंग की ज़रूरत होती है यहाँ पे. और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि T20 क्रिकेट में जितनी स्ट्रॉन्ग आपकी टीम है उतने ही स्ट्रॉन्ग आपके प्लान्स ऑन द फील्ड एग्जीक्यूट होते हैं. बिकॉज जितना कम समय होता है गेम में, आपकी टीम की स्ट्रेंथ सबसे ज़्यादा निखर के बाहर आती है, बिकॉज कम टाइम होता है. तो अगर आपका प्लेइंग 11 इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग है कि वो किसी भी सिचुएशन को काउंटर कर पा रहे हैं, तो आप अपने प्लान सक्सेसफुली एग्जीक्यूट कर सकते हैं. बाकी गेम्स में क्या है कि टाइम होता है, आप पेशेंस से सिचुएशन से बाहर निकल सकते हैं. बट यहाँ पे स्किल और बिलीफ और पॉजिटिविटी हर मोमेंट में दिखाना ज़रूरी होता है. तो वही एक रीज़न है कि हमें ऑलमोस्ट 70% का हमारा सक्सेस रेट रहा है T20 क्रिकेट में भी. बट लास्ट 2 वर्ल्ड कप अगर आप देखें तो हम लोग एक बार फाइनल्स और एक बार सेमीफाइनल में रुक गए. तो हमारी कोशिश ये रहेगी कि हम बड़े टूर्नामेंट्स में लास्ट फाइनल हडल भी पार कर पाएँ, और हमारा यही एंडेवर रहेगा अब से T20 वर्ल्ड कप तक.